Hello and welcome to your Club Everton Daily. The date is not quite Thursday the 9th of February 2012. The reason I say not quite is because it will be by the time you hear this, but it's not quite while I'm recording it. So why the hell am I recording it this late the night before? Well, a couple of reasons. First one, we have a major breaking news story, although that's not the main reason. The main reason is because I'm going to be insanely busy on Thursday, and I doubt I'm going to get much time to actually get the recording done. So for that reason, I'm doing it now and making sure that you have something to get you through your day, because why is a day without a daily update from us? Alright, so, and that's also why my voice is a bit more hushed than usual, trying not to wake any of my flatmates up. Alright, well anyway, on today's daily, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the news, obviously. Our roundtable discussion topic, well, what else is it going to be? Fabio Capello has quit his post as England manager, and we're going to get the reaction. We're going to round up today's gossip. Yes, it is out already. And in our article of interest, we're going into the archives and looking at the initial report on Everton's attempt to move to Kirkby. That's from When Saturday Comes, wsc.co.uk, for this and lots more fantastic articles. Alright, well anyway, that's what's coming up. Let's not waste time. We'll get straight down to it and start with the news. The first one is Everton FC fan group Trust Everton launches a plan to buy Finch Farm. We've obviously reported on this before, but the Echo's picked it up, so we're going to give you the full story as they wrote it on their websites. A group of Everton FC fans want to become landlords of the club's Finch Farm training ground by using supporter donations to buy the £15 million complex. The idea, which has the backing of Shadow Health Secretary and Goodison Park season ticket holder Andy Burnham, has been received with interest by club officials who have already met with the Trust Everton group. Everton FC currently rent their 55-acre training base after selling it to ROM Capital for around £2 million in 2007. Well, last October, ROM announced that they wanted to sell. Now while the men behind Trust Everton, web entrepreneur Tony Lanson, is trying to gauge interest for the proposal with an online survey. Tony, 42, says Everton has a long history of first in football. This could be the next. Supporters of a Premier League club owning one of its main property assets. To get the wheels in motion, we need to show the current owners of Finch Farm that there is a genuine will amongst the fan base to make this happen, and that's why we've set up the survey. The training ground is currently owned by third-party finance companies who have put it on the market. The logic is that someone has to own it, and at the moment the club is paying rent, and that money will continue to disappear. Ideally, Trust Everton will buy Finch Farm using subscription-based memberships and other sources of finance. Any surplus could then be used to finance other fixed commercial assets, for example to support the financing of a stadium redevelopment. We see it as a positive move, where the fans feel like they are really part of something. We'd be working with the current owners of the club, but the aim is to still exist in 150 years when we're all gone, and the next generation are working with whoever owns Everton, whether it's a local businessman or a sheik. And now I've got to wait for this to load, such as technology. So he says the online survey, which can be accessed via the Trust Everton website, www.trusteverton.com, Trust Everton's all one word, also addresses the level of subscription fans would be willing to pay to be a member of the Supporters Trust. He added, we need supporters to complete the survey in their thousands, as well as vital research for Trust Everton. It is the sheer weight of numbers that will persuade the current owners of Finch Farm to come to the table and discuss something concrete that Trust Everton can then put to the fanbase. Mr. Lanson is originally from Everton, but relocated to Scotland for university in 1998 and settled in Stirling. A former pupil of St Mary's College in Crosby, he currently runs two web-based businesses, Stirling Internet Limited and mytownonvideo.co.uk Limited. He said, I believe we have a great concept here that could work and something the fans could get behind. We will cater for people, see it as an opportunity, as an investment, and who wants to pay more for shares, which they would eventually get a return on. Since its inception nearly a year ago, Trust Everton has maintained an active dialogue with Supporters Direct, the government-funded organisation established over 10 years ago to encourage fans to set up supporters' trusts to provide them with vital support. James Maffey of Supporters Direct said, "We've had some very productive meetings with representatives from Trust Everton and have been impressed with their plans to explore ways that the supporters can have a positive impact at their clubs. Even at Premier League level, with the finances are obviously that much more daunting. At this stage, it's really about generating interest and consulting with Everton fans to see what the appetite is. We would therefore urge Evertonians to take a look at the Trust Everton website and fill out the survey so that you can make sure that you have your say." A spokesman for the club says, "Club officials met earlier this season with Trust Everton members, welcomed their objectives. We're pleased members understood the challenges of raising significant funds for the fan base and asked them to be kept informed of any progress." And now just some facts on Finch Farm for the uninitiated, if it'll ever load again. Everton swapped, oh for fuck's sake, sorry, browser. Everton swapped their former Belfield training ground in West Derby for the modern complex at Finch Farm in 2007, which is rated amongst the best in the Premier League. The centre, based in Hale Wood, is home to the club's senior teams and highly respected academy, whilst boasting some of the finest training pitches and facilities in the world. Players can use 10 full-size grass pitches on 3 plateaus, one of which is floodlit. Specialist training areas for fitness work and goalkeepers, including an exact recreation of the pitch at Goodison Park. Inside is a gym, a synthetic indoor training pitch, hydrotherapy pools, a spa, a sauna, physiotherapy rooms, media centre, and video lounges for performance analysis. In October 2011, Hudson Capital Properties put Finch Farm on sale for £15.3 million. Everton have an option to buy it back in July for a set fee of around £16.5 million. Crystal Palace Fan Supporters Trust last year launched a bid to build a £4 million training ground for their club. Trust members voted unanimously in favour of funding the venture in a special meeting held at Selhurst Park last year. In a similar fashion to the Trust Everton plan, the move would see Palace's owners pay rent to the CPST, which would own the facility. The cost of the project is set to be raised by loan notes or community shares, with fans asked to invest a minimum of £500. But members of the South London Club's Trust hope that wealthier supporters will make larger donations. Last summer, a project manager was appointed to drive forward their scheme, and a site was selected. When Palace's Trust was set up, the initial annual membership fee was set at £20. The Trust Board then decided to charge no membership fees for the years to March 31st 2002 to March 31st 2003, and then to March 31st 2004. Since then, the annual membership fee has been set at £5. So, definitely recommend you go and check out the site, trusteverton.co.uk, and have a look at the survey. In fact, I'll put a link to Trust Everton on the description. Okay, now for some actual confirmed news in regards to the squads, but not the squad you think. We're talking about the Everton ladies, and one of their most famous players, Rachel Eunice, has left the club. The England left back has left Everton ladies to join her hometown side, Birmingham City. Eunice has been at Everton for the majority of her senior career, with only a brief hiatus in London where she was one of a few players to play professionally for Fulham ladies. She returned to Everton for 2004 and has been an integral part of the team ever since. She expressed a desire to move clubs at the end of last season, and after a lengthy discussion, her request has been granted. During her long career with the Toffees, Eunice became a stalwart in the back four and was regularly selected as England's first choice left back. Everton ladies manager Mo Marley recognised Eunice's contribution and said she has left the club on positive terms. She said, "On behalf of everyone at Everton ladies, I would like to wish Rachel the best for her future and thank her for her commitment to the club over the past 8 years. Eunice will be returning to Everton with her new club Birmingham on Sunday, April the 22nd, where Everton kick off their home campaign for the 2012 Women's Super League season. We'll be keeping an eye on that when it kicks off." Alright then, so got some Everton rumours. Everton striker Apostle Ospelios could be a possible target for Leicester City when the loan window reopens today. A temporary loan switch could be ideal for the 20-year-old Greece under-21 forward, who's had limited chances at Goodison Park since joining from Greek club Irankilis for around £250,000 a year ago. 14 of his 17 appearances from Everton have come since September, and he's scored 3 goals today against Wigan, Chelsea and Bolton. but with only 2 starts to his name, and with the signing of Nikita Jelavic, the return of goal-scoring form of Victor Anichebe, and Destrak Welesi impressing, the guys at Vital Football personally think that a short-term move to get some game time, stay fresh, and chance to get in amongst the goals for the Championship would be good, and then we could recall him if required. I'll give credit to the author. Written by Jack from Everton's Vital Football page. The final one, quite a long news segment today. It's been a while since we've had one like this. Ian Snowden has been talking about potential excuse me, MLS targets for Everton in the wake of Landon Donovan's rise to prominence here. Snowden says that MLS has really taken off now and the standard of the US national team is improving all the time. I definitely do agree with that, because I do follow MLS, much to the charging of some of the people on the forum who disregard US soccer or easily dismiss it. Do so with caution is what I say, because the league is definitely improving, and I know like the main thing people are going to jump on is David Beckham, but you know, the more publicity it's getting, the better it is. I mean, surely more people watching the product is only going to be better for the product in the long run. But anyway, back on topic. Ian Snowden in his Echo column pointed out Leeds United's young winger Robbie Rogers, who's capable of achieving big things in this country, according to Snods. Jurgen Klinsmann was the one who gave Leeds a reference for the player, and he's going to be watching his development at Elland Road with interest. Quite what that has to do with us, I'm not sure, but Snods reckons he could be a decent kid to look out for. It's going to be interesting to see how he does at Leeds United. Alright, well that's it for the news, and that's got to be the longest news piece we've ever done on the daily. In fact, it's gone the length of what we normally have for a podcast. Bloody hell. Alright, well anyway, now it's time for our roundtable discussion topic, and it is of course Capello gone. Postman Pat has resigned as England manager, the FA has confirmed. Capello quit after meeting with David Bernstein, the FA chairman, and the General Secretary Alex Horn at Wembley. In a statement, the FA said the Football Association can confirm that Fabio Capello has today resigned as England manager. In fact, the full statement, because it's only giving you snippets on the BBC website, so I'm just getting the statement from the FA website. Again, excuse me while it loads. The Football Association can confirm that Fabio Capello has today resigned as England manager. This follows a meeting involving FA Chairman David Bernstein, FA General Secretary Alex Horn and Fabio Capello at Wembley Stadium. Discussions focus on the FA Board's decision to remove the England team captaincy from John Terry and Fabio Capello's response through an Italian broadcast interview. In a meeting for over an hour, Fabio's resignation was accepted and he will leave the post of England manager with immediate effect. David Bernstein said, "I would like to stress that during today's meeting and throughout his time as England manager, Fabio has conducted himself in an extremely professional manner. We have accepted Fabio's resignation, agreed that this is the right decision, and we would like to thank Fabio for his work with the England team and wish him every success in the future." The media conference with David Bernstein and the clubs and the Club England management team will take place at Wembley on Thursday at 12 noon. The FA will not be making any further comments until the media conference. So, 12 noon, that's definitely going to be something to keep an eye out. I'm pretty sure, you know, the usuals will be there, the BBC will be there, Sky will be there. Wednesday's meeting was the first time Capello had met the FA since their decision to remove the armband from Terry pending the outcome of his court case in July, which we've covered quite a lot during these daily updates. Terry denies a charge of alleged racial abuse aimed at QPR's Anton Ferdinand. On Sunday, Capello told Italy's state broadcaster RAI he did not believe someone should be punished by sporting authorities before the court had reached a verdict. The FA head of elite development, Gareth Southgate, suggested that Stuart Pearce, the under-21 head coach, will be in charge for England's friendly against the Netherlands on the 29th of February. He said, "Stuart Pearce is in the building and with the under-21, said the former England England defender. But you have to think, for the summer? Can you get the person you want for the longer term? Because the leading candidates are with clubs at the minute. Harry Redknapp is one of the leading candidates, but Tottenham will have something to say about that, and Daniel Levy is not going to want Harry to leave without a fight. So there's an awful lot of work going out in the next few weeks. Former England captain Alan Shearer said England should be managed by an Englishman, and I'll go along with Harry Redknapp as the outstanding candidate. He's a genius at motivating players. Just one thing I want to just comment about in regards to the England management thing. So far as the manager has to be English, the right man for the job is the right man for the job regardless of his nationality, in my opinion. Sven-Göran Eriksson, for all his failings, was the right man at the time. He took a team that was quite clearly struggling under Kevin Keegan, and admittedly by the skin of his teeth got them to the World Cup. I mean, why should a man's credentials for a job be, ignored just based on the plot of land that his parents just happen to procreate on? Anyway, regardless, another possible candidate to succeed Capello is West Brom manager Roy Hodgson. Fuck off! Roy Hodgson, England manager. Anyway, well, that was a good laugh at the end of that story, but obviously this is going to be dragging on for a while. Anyway, let's move on to the gossip. I'm actually surprised it's updated itself. It is now Thursday, by the way. It is 12 minutes past midnight. And as always with the gossip column, the source, and then the story. Our first source is the Daily Express, who reports that Barcelona are looking at ways to raise cash to fund a massive summer bid for Tottenham's 50 million rated winger Gareth Bale, 22 years old. The Star reports that Chelsea are believed to be lining up another £50 million swoop. 25-year-old Athletic Madrid striker Falcao. I pronounced that wrong, definitely. The Cunt Rag reports that Liverpool are keen on Barcelona's Sergio Keita, the £2 million rated midfielder. 32 years old, is currently playing for Mali in the African Nations Cup, and he's been frozen out at the Nou Camp. Bolton News reports that Owen Coyle is believed to have issued a come and get them invitation for Championship clubs for some of their out of favour stars. Talkshite reports that Hamburg's hope to tempt 22-year-old midfielder Gylfi Sigurdsson back to Germany, where his loan spell at Swansea expires at the end of the season. Right, well, they hope. I thought this was going somewhere else. Excuse me. Lancashire Telegraph reports that Barry Flitcroft, and now I'm struggling with words, it's late. Former Blackburn captain insists that Rovers must resolve their differences with once-away defender Chris Samba immediately, or face the daunting task in avoiding Premier League relegation. Well, they're going to be facing that task regardless of whether Chris Samba's there or not, or happy or not. So, you're ready for it. Metro reports that several top clubs are already lining up to sign Blackburn's highly rated 21-year-old striker Junior Hoylett, who could leave the club for a bargain price when his contract expires in the summer. Manchester Evening News in English, reports that striker Dimitar Berbatov expects to remain at Man United beyond the season, but has reiterated his disenchantment at his lack of playing time at Old Trafford. Oh well, there's always a chance to further your career at Anfield. The Mirror reports that Arsenal striker Andrei Arshavin is holding on for a summer move back to former club Zenit St Petersburg rather than move to Anzi Makakala. For fuck's sake, that team shows up every fucking day on these. I'm sick of trying and failing to pronounce their name. Over the next 3 weeks, while the Russian transfer window remains open, Talkshite reports that Man City's 26-year-old defender Alexander Kolarov is a transfer target for Serie A giant Juventus. Inside Football reports that Anderlecht's 26-year-old striker Bakani, that's his last name, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his first, is being targeted by the Red Shites, of course. 26-year-old's agent has admitted that his client is being scouted by English clubs and could move abroad. Some of the headlines that the sports pages are going with. The Racist is going with Arrivederci. Capello quits as England boss after meeting with the FA. The cunt rag, Capello quits as England boss. Creative. Daily Telegraph, Fabio Capello resigns as England manager. Descriptive. The Express, Fabio Capello quits as England coach. Plagiarism. The Mirror, Capello quits as England boss. Boring. The Star, Fabio Capello resigns. The Guardian, Fabio Capello resigns as England manager. The Independent, Capello quits as England manager. And La Gazzetta dello Sport, obviously in Italian, Capello resigns due to irreconcilable differences with the FA. Different and difficult to pronounce, apparently. In other gossip, Talk Shout reports that Jose Mourinho will not leave Real Madrid at the end of the season, according to midfielder Jose Calajon, 24. Birmingham Mail reports that Alex McLeish is hoping to sign 25-year-old striker Gabriel Agbonlahor. Site is hoping to convince him about the benefits of yoga, using Ryan Giggs as his prime example. Okay, where the hell did I get Sam from? The Racist reports that West Ham midfielder Ravel Morrison looks set to be hauled in front of senior Hammer staff to explain comments he made on Twitter. It's the Racist, so I'm not even going to bother looking at what he's allegedly said. The Eastern Daily Press reports that former Norwich winger Adrian Forbes believes the Canaries have bagged themselves a bargain in the former transfer deadline day signing Ryan Bennett. Liverpool Echo reports that Everton fan group Trust Everton has launched a plan to buy the club's £15 million Fitch Farm training ground. We've reported that already, let's move on. The Daily Star reports that Blackburn are believed to have cancelled the visits from the Indian national team due to fresh fears over the future of boss Steve Keane. Pulled out his job for life. Anyway, Newcastle Chronicle. French winger Sylvain Marveaux has admitted his season could already be over with Newcastle. South Wales Evening Post reports that Swansea's 29-year-old midfielder Farai Bode faces a fight to save his career after news that he suffered a third cruciate ligament injury which will rule him out until next season. The Guardian reports that Brazilian club Corinthians are keeping their striker Adriano detained inside the team's hotel in an effort to force him to lose weight. Wow. Militant fighting. The Express and Star reports that manager Alex McLeish has urged French winger Charles Nzobia to do his talking on the pitch for Aston Villa rather than on Twitter. Oh, then we'll have nothing to do. And finally, and there's only one, it's from the Metro, and it's about to shite. The now world famous Anfield cat might have found a new home after the former Liverpool steward came forward claiming he was a local stray, and he's named after manager Kenny Dalglish. Of course, that cunt's always ruining football games. See, I can't do clever analogies. Anyway, that's it for the gossip. Wow, longest daily ever. We're at 23 minutes, I haven't even got onto the article of interest. And we are going to do it, I'm not going to drop it out this time. Right, so, we're going into the When Saturday Comes archive for today's article of interest, and it is the leaving of Liverpool. Everton's plans to move from the city to neighbouring Kirkby have left a lot of gooders and regulars up in arms. Here's the article from When Saturday Comes issue 247, published in September 2007. There are few things in life more predictable than death, taxes, and stories linking Man United with Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. One of them is talk of Everton moving to a new stadium. Started in earnest 10 years ago, when then Chairman Peter Johnson proposed a move to a new ground on Kirkby Golf Course. However, that came to naught, as did a subsequent attempt by present owner Bill Kenwright to get a project at the King's Stop off the ground. Since then there have been intermittent rumblings about sharing with Liverpool, and now things appear to have gone almost full circle as the club's official website recently displayed artist impressions of a proposed development on the edge of Kirkby. The proposal's big selling point, as far as the club are concerned, is that the new stadium will provide the centrepiece to a retail park that is seen by the local council as key to the regeneration of the area. As a result, they are willing to give Everton the land for free, while Tesco, who plan a new superstore on the site, will provide £50 million towards the building cost of the Blues' new 50,000 capacity home. Hindsight, gotta love it, haven't you? According to the club's chief executive Keith Winus, these factors all combine to represent the deal of the century. Soundbites of the past. Such is the club's confidence in their plans, they have taken the rather unusual step of organising a vote on the issue, with somewhere in the region of 33,000 fans expecting ballot papers to drop through their letterboxes shortly. Not everyone is as enthusiastic as Winers though. The taboo of leaving Goodison was broken a long time ago when the King Stock idea received almost universal acceptance from the fans. But crucially, that proposal put Everton at the very heart of the city. Indeed, it would have made them part of the iconic skyline. The latest project would shift the Toffees a mere 4 miles away, but into the neighbouring Knowsley, therefore no longer strictly within the city of Liverpool. To many, that feels as if Liverpool's founding football club are essentially surrendering the city to their offspring, the club who have already appropriated the city's name and emblem. Those feelings have been reinforced by the fact that Liverpool FC are planning to build their own new home right in the middle of Stanley Park. At the forefront of the opposition to the move to Kirkby are a group called Keep Everton in Our City. They believe that a move out of the city would be disastrous to the club. Along with the Everton supporting head of the City Council, Warren Bradley, they are committed to showing that the Blues do have other options, despite the CEO's insistence that there is no plan B. Again, soundbites, you gotta love them. KIOC's approach is two-pronged. First, they believe that Everton could redevelop Goodison in its present location. A feasibility study carried out by architects Ward McCure Associates shows that despite the club's insistence to the contrary, it is possible to expand the club's ground's capacity on the current site to either 50,000 or 55,000. Alternatively, they also believe that if the club insists on moving, then alternative sites are available within the city limits. A piece of land near the entranceway to the Wallasey Tunnel, which links Liverpool to the Wirral Peninsula, owned by the cash and carry firm Bestway, is just one suggestion. The club seemed reticent though. The Kirkby proposal is deliverable as early as 2010. 2 years later. And the involvement of Tesco's means that they would incur negligible debt. Yay. A massive incentive for a club who seems to have done nothing but struggle for money over the past 10 years. And 5 years after that, look where we are now. Right, well anyway, that's our rather interesting look at the archives for today's article of interest. I know you've been with me longer than what you're usually with me for, but there you go, sometimes some big things break and we need to cover them. But we're going to let you go now, we're about done. I'm going to go and get some sleep in a bit. But before I do that, I'll let you know how you can get in touch with us on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter and Google+, all the links are in the description. Also, don't forget to have a look at our site, clubeverton.co.uk, for all the latest news, views and opinion. Don't forget to send us an email to admin@clubeverton.co.uk if you're interested in writing for us. Also, don't forget to join in the matchday discussion and lots more discussion on our official forums, Club Everton Forum. Don't forget also to nominate the Fallatonians for the Shorty Award. Go to Twitter, mention @Fallatonians, mention Shorty Award and use the hashtag soccer. That'll count as a nomination. Let's get them onto the top page of nominations. I also forgot to mention, subscribe to the channels, the YouTube channel Club Everton Daily, and of course our iTunes feed Club Everton Radio, where you'll get the dailies, and you can, if you're subscribed to the podcast, you can listen to them on iTunes, on your iPod, your iPhone, your iPad, your whatever the fuck you come out with. And finally, Club Everton Dailies are brought to you by Hans Tours, the official travel partner of clubeverton.co.uk. Give Han a ring on 07521211395 or visit hanstours.co.uk for more information. Alright, well that is indeed it for today's daily. Thank you very much for listening and we'll see you tomorrow.